Today we will learn how to add VintaSoft Web DICOM viewer to an ASP.NET Core application and view DICOM images and DICOM MPR in ASP.NET Core application. First of all, we should create a new project of ASP.NET Core Web App, Model View Controller, type, in Visual Studio 2026. Let's add references to the VintaSoft assemblies from VintaSoft nuget-packages. Locate the project in Solution Explorer, right-click the Dependencies node, select Manage nuget-packages, menu and Context menu. In the NuGet Package Manager dialog, navigate to the Browse tab. Enter vintasoft.imaging.dicom.aspnetcore.appycontrollers text in Search Text field. Select vintasoft.imaging.dicom.aspnetcore.appycontrollers, NuGet package in the package list, and click the Install button. Reference to the vintasoft.imaging.dicom.aspnetcore.appycontrollers. NuGet package is added to the ASP.NET Core project. Add reference to the vintasoft.imaging.jpg 2000 codec, NuGet package the same way. Add reference to the vintasoft.imaging.drawing.skia-sharp, NuGet package the same way. Open program.cs file and add C# code that specifies that Skia-sharp should be used as a drawing engine for drawing of 2D graphics. Let's create web service that allows to upload/download file. Press the right mouse button on the Controllers folder and select the Add, then Controller Key menu from Context menu. Select Empty API Controller Template. Set the controller name to the MyVintaSoft File API Controller and press the Add button. Specify that MyVintaSoft File API Controller class is derived from VintaSoft File API Controller class. Let's create web service that allows to work with DICOM images. Press the right mouse button on the Controllers folder and select the Add, then Controller menu from Context menu. Select Empty API Controller Template. Set the controller name to the MyVintaSoft DICOM API Controller and press the Add button. Specify that MyVintaSoft DICOM API Controller class is derived from VintaSoft DICOM API Controller class. Let's open program.cs file and add C# code that registers the evaluation version of VintaSoft Imaging.NET SDK for usage in Windows. You can get the evaluation license for VintaSoft Imaging.NET SDK as described in VintaSoft's documentation. Let's add JavaScript libraries to the project. Add the www.root/lib/vintasoft folder to ASP.NET Core application. Copy files vintasoft.shared.js, vintasoft.imaging.js, vintasoft.imaging.css, vintasoft.imaging.dicom.js, and vintasoft.imaging.dicom.css from GitHub to the folder www.root/lib/vintasoft/. Let's use ready-to-use standard Bootstrap dialog in VintaSoft Web DICOM viewer. Bootstrap and jQuery libraries already added to the project. Copy files vintasoft.imaging.dialogs.bootstrap.js and vintasoft.imaging.dicom.bootstrap.js from GitHub to the folder. Let's add JavaScript code that allows to create Web DICOM viewer and open DICOM images for viewing. Create folder www.root/uploaded-image-files/session ID and copy any DICOM file to the folder. This DICOM file will be displayed in Web DICOM viewer. Open file. Views \home/index.cshtml. Add references to used JavaScript libraries. Add HTML markup, a div element that will display Web DICOM viewer, to the web view. Open www.root/css/site.css file and add CSS style for DICOM viewer container to the site.css file. Open file www.root/js/site.js. Add JavaScript code that creates Web DICOM Viewer and opens DICOM images for viewing and DICOM MPR. Now let's take a look at our code that creates Web DICOM Viewer and opens DICOM images for viewing and DICOM MPR. Here is JavaScript code that specify web services, which should be used in this ASP.NET Core application. Here is JavaScript code that creates settings for Web DICOM Viewer. Here is JavaScript code that creates Web DICOM Viewer. Here is JavaScript code that opens DICOM file in Web DICOM Viewer. Let's run the ASP.NET Core application. Chrome displays web page with VintaSoft Web DICOM Viewer that displays DICOM images. Let's see metadata of DICOM file. Let's measure objects on DICOM image in VintaSoft Web DICOM Viewer. Let's pan DICOM image in VintaSoft Web DICOM Viewer. Let's change window level of DICOM image in VintaSoft Web DICOM Viewer. Let's zoom DICOM image in VintaSoft Web DICOM Viewer. Let's navigate through DICOM frames in DICOM MPR in VintaSoft Web DICOM Viewer. Let's display the 3D DICOM MPR in VintaSoft Web DICOM Viewer. Let's display the sagittal DICOM MPR in VintaSoft Web DICOM Viewer. Let's create and display curvilinear DICOM MPR in VintaSoft Web DICOM Viewer. In this video, we learned how to open, view DICOM images and DICOM MPR in Web DICOM Viewer in ASP.NET Core application using VintaSoft Imaging.NET SDK. More information about VintaSoft Imaging.NET SDK can be obtained on our website.